Unfortunately, I had a bunch of footage for this week's video, and I accidentally permanently deleted a big chunk of this week's video. So I apologize in advance. I'll try to be a little more careful next week and make better content. Sorry. So the MLS season is over, and Inter Miami won the whole thing. That's great. I mean, I wanted LAFC to win the whole thing, but Inter Miami won the whole thing. And the first game of next year is going to take place at the Coliseum in Los Angeles with Inter Miami and LAFC playing the first match of the season. And I've got tickets to that thing, but I'm going to sell them because I need to recoup for the season tickets I bought for LAFC. And LAFC, their coach, Steve Cherundolo, has officially left the team. And now we've got Mark Dos Santos, who's working with Steve Cherundolo. He's going to be the head coach, which is good and bad. You kind of want a high-profile coach to be able to, get them over that finish line, get them over that hump with, their major experience. But you also don't want to change the momentum that we've been building. So I'm really looking forward to next season, and it's going to be a great season. Hopefully, Sonny stays healthy, injury-free, and he does well in the league. He does well at the 2026 World Cup, and it's going to be fascinating, to say the least. What's going on, my people? So this week was a decent week. I ended up with about 2,300 miles, one trip up to Northern California, and then 2 round trips to Phoenix and back. It was a good week. I got to end the week midday Saturday, which is good. 4.5 days of good driving. Pretty good weather with cool temperatures at night. It was comfortable sleeping. Can't complain. Smooth. No real drama. And if I keep getting weeks like this, I'm a happy camper. Anyway, this week I wanted to talk about the amount of discontent or complaining that we do. Sometimes we're like the yappy chihuahua that just complains. And everybody can get into this mode, this rut where we're sitting there complaining way too much. And we need to make that shift in our brain to make sure that we're not complaining about things that we can't handle. With every job, you're going to have things that come up that you can do. It's annoying. A lot of things are annoying, but if we get into the habit of just complaining, it's not doing anybody any favors. You're just going to make people's lives more difficult. Whoever you interact with, whether it's the back office people or the people at the loading docks and receiving, they are not going to appreciate you at all, and what you want to do is you want to do your best to make sure that you have a good working relationship with all these people you encounter, and you want to bless people, and you want to make sure that you're a positive impact, when the world is so negative. And, we feel justified to be able to complain about things because it's not the norm, or it's out of the ordinary where we have to bend backwards or we have to sacrifice some of our energy and time to make things happen. But I want to encourage everybody, if you can do it, do it. The less complaining we do, the better it is for you in the long run and for everybody else. You still do have to let them know that, hey, I'll do it, but, I'm not happy, or but this isn't what, I should be doing, or this isn't the norm. Let them know that, but make sure that you are a willing partner, that you're telling them you're going above and beyond to make this happen. Don't make a stink of it, and make sure that you're not that person that's just negative Nancy, just complain. There are times to vent and let your frustrations out. There are times to let them know that you're not happy, but we got to be people that make the difference, that could make things work despite the fact. And I think when we take that kind of approach or that kind of an attitude, they just like you more and you will have a better time at work. I want to make sure that I myself am doing what I can to, be successful for myself and make the company successful. There are times literally when we can just say, no, screw it. I'm not doing it. No, I'm not picking that up. No, it's just not what I signed up for. There's a lot of times like that. And if you come across these times more often than not, and the position's not right for you, the account is not right for you, the job's not right for you, then you have to seriously move on. But until you find something better for yourself, make sure you're still making things work on your end. Want to encourage everybody, don't jump ship so fast. There is no perfect job out there. And when you are out there, you're going to realize, well, you don't have these kind of problems that you had at the old company. But in the new company, you're going to have a whole new set of problems, And so keep that in mind, try to stay as positive as possible. And really, I think it's important to constantly assess whether you're at the right place or not. But at the same time, be realistic and make good, wise decisions. I think having that wisdom will take you a long way for the long haul. It's easy to jump jobs, but it's hard to find that right job. It really is. And you almost have to be blessed to be in a good job that you can just constantly appreciate your situation. And right now, a lot of people ask me, how long am I going to stay? And I appreciate my situation. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm making halfway decent money, not as much as I used to back in the day. And with inflation and everything, it's not that much. But at my age, with, the limitations that we have sometimes, it's not bad. And I feel blessed. Anyway, I want to encourage all of you guys to stay positive and to make each week count and make things work for you and for the company. Just thank you for following me on this journey. God bless all of you. And if you're a driver out there, stay safe, peace. And until next time, cheers.